Oh, we got the cannon breach. Okay. This is interesting. Interesting tactic going on here. Oh! Oh. What is going on, guys? So, since boats have been kind of out for a little bit and I've really been enjoying them, actually more so than I would ever imagine, I figured I'd make a little beginner's guide to boats. Now, I am by no means an expert on these things. There's a lot to learn, and I haven't even touched the peak of it. I haven't even got the foam off the top, but I think I have some tips that will help you guys if you're having trouble grinding these low tier boats, because they all seem shitty, right? They all seem like I can't do anything in this boat, and it's kind of true. Most of the reserve tier boats are pretty bad, and it's understandable because they get really powerful really early on, and it's not a lot of grinding, but making it through these early tier boats, it's just a pain and a hassle. But hopefully these tips will help you out. Hopefully you enjoyed the little sneak peek of what tomorrow's video is going to be. Yeah, it was hell. It was supposed to be today's video, but it's taking me far too long. I haven't gotten a kill in 5 games in the AMX40. It's terrible. But boats. So there's a couple ways, I should say, to take out boats. Now, if you look at the top right, I'll zoom in on it. You can see that the boat is comprised of 3 compartments, at least the small PT boats. Obviously, some of the destroyers and cruisers, they get more compartments, or what I'm calling compartments, but it's really segments of the ship. Now, once you black out a segment of the ship, it's not that you can't do damage to that part of the boat anymore. It's just you're only going to be doing damage to what's inside that compartment, if you get what I'm saying. Now, the 3 main ways to take out boats is you can kill or black out every compartment, so all 3 for a small PT boat. And I believe it's like 4 on some of the boats that have 5 compartments. If you black those out, you'll get the kill. You can knock out all of the crew on the boat, which is kind of tough on some of the bigger ships, but easier on the smaller ships. Or you can blow up an ammo rack or hit somebody with a torpedo. Now, a torpedo is an instant one-shot always, even for the cruisers. I don't know if they're going to implement it again, but it was at some point implemented where a cruiser can kind of tank a torpedo if it hits a right spot. Right now, I haven't seen any evidence of that, but we're mainly talking about smaller tier boats, or lower tier boats anyway. So these low tier boats, you can hit one with a torpedo, they die instantly to bombs if it hits direct, or you can take out all the crew, black out all 3 compartments, or go for the ammo. My best advice is, depending on what kind of ship you have, if you don't have cannons, you're using PT boats like you see in the background footage, breaking down the compartments of the boat is the easiest way for me to get kills, and I would assume it'll probably be the best for you. Oh no, I have my phone on. But another thing that helps, and not many people talk about, is I thought HE would be better, but it turns out that AP rounds, while they do overpen, black out sections faster. So I would recommend using full AP belts for most of the boats that you use. When you get to higher tiers, of course, you start to have to use different types of ammo for different situations, which is completely understandable, but that's kind of the course of the game. It'll teach you that, and I'll be making more advanced videos when I get those boats in more nations. So I've been grinding myself with just a premium account, and I average at this tier about 2 to 3K per game on a premium account using 1 premium PT boat, grinding things in this tier. And I think that's not too bad. That's about 3 to 5 games for most boats at the first tiers. Now, another thing that I do, and it's not the smartest thing, is we spawn in going full speed ahead, right? And you just want to sail your way into the cap point. I'm having trouble with the language differences between boats and tanks. I'm going to reference a boat as a tank at one point, and I'm sorry for that, but you start sailing into the combat, and you get carried away. I mean, I'm not saying all of you guys do, but I certainly do, and I find it hard to catch myself when I'm getting carried away. I want to just keep going forward. And the way the spawn systems work, there is still a invincibility 10-second frame for boats, and it doesn't matter if they're stopped or not moving, because all boats spawn in moving. So you could see somebody moving, shoot at him, and he might still have 3 or 4 seconds left on his invincibility. So the best way, or the advice I would give to people, is try to play your boat smart. Look at the map, see where your friendlies are going, and kind of move around behind islands where you know you have support, so you're not the main focal point of multiple enemy ships. And on top of that, you can use the islands as cover to peek out and whatnot. Now, another big thing, as I say this, I beach myself a lot. So that's something that you might want to take into consideration, is always check your surroundings. These boats require a little bit more micromanaging than tanks. A tank, most likely you're always shooting forward or moving forward. And at the lower tiers of tanks, you're never really shooting on the move anyway. So you don't have to worry about driving into a wall while you're trying to shoot a guy. But since boats don't go down in one shot always, and you're trying to keep your ship moving, it's very, very easy to just beach yourself, hit a random rock, sail into a friendly ship, sail into an enemy ship. And those are just things that you have to be wary about. Another thing is torpedoes in this game act pretty realistic, I would say. So they just kind of go forward. And if you don't have a high crew level, you won't see the marker for the torpedo until it's right up on you. So that's another thing about situational awareness. You always want to be looking around for those little watermarks where the boats are coming at you, or the torpedoes, excuse me, are coming at you. And that'll save you some unnecessary deaths. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've just sailed into a beach, got killed because I'm a sitting duck, sailed myself into a torpedo not knowing where I was, sailed into an enemy spawn, not really knowing where I was again. So situational awareness, learn the maps, move behind islands, keep space between your engagements, and you should have a pretty good time. Now, the third thing that I kind of want to talk about that's tough to do in this game is the actual act of aiming at ships. Now, it's not hard, but it is quirky, I guess is the best way to put it. You constantly have to update your target, I guess is the best way to put it. So you press whatever keybind it is to bind a target. Mine is X, for example. I press X, I see the outline of the enemy ship, and that'll set your guns to the range that the enemy ship is at. And I use my scroll wheel for fine adjustment, and that's how I get my aim down. Now, with the smaller boats that have like 50 cals up to 40 mils, you don't really have to aim that way. You don't have to worry too much about scroll wheeling it in and hitting ammo racks. You kind of just spray at the enemy ship until it dies. But when you're focusing on hitting certain parts of the enemy ship, it'll prove way better in combat, and it will help you immensely. I can't stress enough how much it helped once I started realizing, hey, I'm in this boat, I can knock out the enemy guns that are shooting at me because there's a dude standing on the deck shooting at me. So if you start to aim for those weak spots, take out the enemy's guns, and then you can start to segment the ship and black out the hull, and it'll be dead in no time. So those little aiming cues and tips that I'm trying to convey to you guys hopefully will help you play the boats way better. Now, I have one more thing that I want to mention, which is really, really cool. But after I mention it, I think I'm just going to play some music and show you it actually being done because I think it's awesome. But you can cap in planes that have amphibious, or can land on water, I should say. Amphibious planes. They're crawling out of the water at us, the salamanders. But I digress. And this is a thing in arcade. I've been getting rammed a ton. But you can cap points like C. If nobody's over there, you can go land a Catalina and cap it. So hope you guys get some use out of this video. I hope this helps you guys who are trying to get into boats a little bit more, because I think it's going to be worth it a ton. It is such a fun game mode right now, and I can see super potential in this game mode. I could see a lot of different boats. I could see a lot of missiles being added, a variety of different weaponry, and even submarines. There's depth charges, mines are coming, there's hydrofoils. There's a lot of cool things in boats, but they're locked behind these shitty reserve tier boats. And you know, not many people want to grind them, so hopefully this helps you guys. Let me know in the comments down below any tips and tricks you have for boats, so hopefully we can start a discussion down there and help the new people who are popping in who may want to play boats, not just listening to my word for it. I think you should do some research. You should play the boats yourself, get a feel for it, and whatever works for you, just comment it down below. Let me know. I'm curious. I'm always open to learning about this stuff. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Be on the lookout for an AMX 40 video, and I'm going to try to do a stream today. I don't know. I have some plans later on tonight. I'm making some homemade pasta, the true Italian roots. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace.
Very cool.
decapping now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this is how you're supposed to play boats, apparently. Just get PBs.
Hell yeah.
This is awesome. This is great. All right, I'm